How do you overcome those pesky inner critic messages that tell you you cannot host a workshop? What are you thinking? Who do you think you are? You can't speak on a summit. Who do you think you are? And all those other inner critic messages that maybe show up to keep you from getting your message out there and from showing up and connecting with your potential clients and with your audience. And so today we have with us an expert in mental fitness and positive intelligence, and she's also an ultra athlete, which means she runs 100+ mile races and a lot of other crazy things. And if you can imagine running a 100-mile race or 150-mile race or even 200, which she does, and think about the things you have to overcome in order to keep going and not quit. And the same is true for when you are hosting a workshop or speaking or trying to build a coaching business. So welcome, Karen, to the Speakeasy Cafe.
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you so much for having me. This will
Yeah.
be exciting.
Yes. Now, Karen and I have known each other for years now. We met in a mastermind right after graduating from our coach training, and then worked with the same coach, and then eventually saw each other again. And then she joined my program, and we've been working together ever since. So, welcome, Karen. First of all, just share a little bit about yourself. What does mental fitness mean? And what you do, and then we will talk about how people can overcome and be great at their performance, because I know you talk a lot about performance. They can find their edge, their peak in what they do as a coach, and especially when it comes to running a workshop.
So you did mention right out the gate, yes, I am an ultra distance athlete. I don't know, I just sort of got moved into this, but by inspiration of other people. And that's the same thing that I love to do is inspire other people to step beyond their comfort zones, beyond their status quo zone and step into the uncomfortable to grow. And
Yeah.
so it takes a mindset, it takes resilience, it takes perseverance, it takes a lot just to be an ultra runner. And that applies to life as well. So just because mental fitness isn't just about running and having the mental fortitude to do that, but the same chatter goes on in our head as it goes on in our leadership skills and goes on in speaking, goes on in being on summits, and how much we can say on the trail, oh, I can't do this. What am I thinking? Same thing in life. What am I thinking? I can't do this. Those are our inner critics. I mean, how that negative chatter goes on in our head, and the thing with that though too, it's so quiet we don't even know it because it's our natural way of thinking.
Mm,
It holds us back, and it's like, well, no, I'm gonna learn all I can, and then maybe.
yeah.
I'm gonna
And
learn all
that's
I can, then maybe.
I love what you just said, that this it's first of all the word chatter, which is like constantly, but the
Hmm.
fact that we don't always know it's going on,
Right.
and it's under the surface, subconscious, and we don't realize we are sabotaging ourselves from this mental chatter that we aren't aware of.
Right.
And then we stay stuck in our patterns of like, well, yeah, I can sit here and learn everything, but I'm not going to actually take action and do it. But we don't know why. We don't know what is stopping us. Right. And so it's that we have to, first of all, be aware of that message that we are telling ourselves. I just recently uncovered another one, that I was creating a limit for myself in how many people would I could get registered for my big event. I kept hitting this limit, and I couldn't figure out why. I was like, why does this keep happening? I'm doing everything that I know to do. And then come to find out, there was this little chatter going on, and it had to do with feeling responsible for my clients in my program, that I had to carry the weight for them to be successful. And I didn't even know that this was going on. So I was limiting myself because deep in my subconscious, it was like, well, I can't take on too many more people because then I'm carrying this weight. And as soon as I dealt with that, everything doubled. My registrations doubled, my show up rate doubled. So again, when you're hosting an event, or you want to get yourself out there, you want to host a workshop or a master class, and you will learn about it, and maybe you even put it on the calendar and plan to do it. But then you're like, oh, well, I can't. And you make up excuses why, and then you move it to the next month or whatever, but you don't actually ever do it. So we need to find out what is that mental chatter.
It's trying to be aware of what that mental chatter is and paying attention. And I know that before I really got serious into being the strong mental fitness coach, I realized for myself, like I said earlier, I was showing up. We want something secretly, but then we don't believe in ourselves enough to go forward and do that something. And
Hmm.
so it took me a year before I mustered up what I'm going to say courage to do my podcast.
Wow.
And when we open that door of what we might be afraid of and you just step into it, you're stepping beyond the saboteurs, the avoider, or the inner critic, or the pleaser, because you want to make everybody else happy. We have a lot of different behaviors that show up in our actions that have been a habit for so long. So mine would have been the procrastinator or the perfectionist. This isn't right yet. I have to be perfect at this. I don't know. I don't have the right speech. I don't have the right words. It's not coming out good enough, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't have the right time. It's not the right time for her. Nobody wants to be on my podcast. Well, okay. I'm close to 100 podcasts now. By
That's awesome.
stepping beyond that, I'm not good enough to do this. Who wants to listen to me? I don't have the voice. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. But it's freeing. It's freeing when we step beyond that negative self chatter and we radically become aware of it. And when we can become radically aware of what that thought's doing, and Janelle, you did the perfect thing of you were thinking you could only do those so many clients, so
Hmm.
you had to serve this. Change your thoughts. Change your thought, and your whole world expanded
Yeah.
because our thoughts create our feelings, create our actions, and the
Mhm.
thoughts is what resonates. We have those mirror neurons that resonate out into the world because your mirror neuron is saying, "Oh no, I can't have you. I can't have so many." We don't even know
Yeah.
it. It's all energy. It's all
Yeah,
energy.
it really is all energy, and your thoughts come from your beliefs, what you believe
Right.
deep down, right? And that those inner beliefs are the things that we're so used to them. Like you said, it's a habit. We've been thinking this way for a long time. And mine goes back probably, who knows how far back that particular one was. I think, being the oldest girl in a big family, I felt this responsibility. I helped my mom with the younger kids, and even now, like I'm the matriarch of the family because my parents are gone, my two older brothers are gone, and it's like I carry this responsibility for other people's happiness and success without even realizing I'm doing it. And I'm subconsciously thinking I have to do something to make them successful, but I can't. People have to take their own actions and do their own work to become successful. I can
Right.
deliver what I promised, but I can't take their responsibility on myself. And yet when I really think about it, I've been doing that a long time. So it's those deeper inner messages. What's one way that people can start to become aware of maybe what is that inner message that is sabotaging them that they don't even know what it is?
So a lot of tools, most of the tools that are used in my program in my boot camp is about a present moment. So sometimes what I tell my clients, though, too, right at the gate, nobody knows about this, but you have to pay attention. What are you feeling?
Yeah.
And so what do I feel? I feel knot in my stomach, or I feel the tension in my shoulders or my head. And then because that feeling came from a thought, so then you can back it up as what thought was I thinking? What am I afraid of? What's the fear going
Mm.
on there? It's a fear-based thought.
Right. Yeah. And then from there, even deeper, what am I believing is true about this?
Yeah, what is the belief behind there? And
Mhm.
even ask yourself even deeper. A really great way of doing that is writing about it. It's like,
Mm.
okay, I catch myself, I'm more in tune with what my body is feeling. And I know sometimes I wake myself up at night because I'm having this knot in my stomach. And sometimes that's my intuition. It's
Mm.
like, what is the message that needs to come here? What am I needing to hear? What is going to step me beyond this? What is this fear based on? And it's peeling back the layer, peeling back the layer, peeling back the layer.
Yeah. It really is like that. It's a journey of onion layer peeling.
And it's a
Um,
good journey too, because You're, we believe that, and we're taught this, that if we don't make everybody else out there happy, good, in there, then we're not good. But that's
Mm.
not true. The truth is that when we become solid, we become grounded, we become in our inner wisdom, in our empathy, and being curious in life, that it allows everybody around us to be drawn to us and want the same.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. People pleasing, I think, was definitely one of mine, and avoider. So even just being aware of those helps you to change them. You can't change something you're not aware of. So I love
Right.
your suggestions, writing things down, tuning in. What am I thinking? Especially start with becoming more aware of what you're feeling in your body.
Right.
And then what's driving that? Where is that coming from? And really, sometimes you have to sit with it because at first, first thought that comes to you might be just some random thought having to do with, the things you have to do that day or something. And if you sit long enough with it to get the deeper thought, it'll come to you. And then you can do something about it. And you said like changing that thought. We have control over our thoughts,
Right.
and our beliefs. We can change what we believe. We aren't, it isn't hardwired into us. We're malleable. We're that neuroplasticity. We can change those things. I remember somebody said something to me when years ago. I heard somebody say, "You can't control who comes to your house and knocks on your door, but you can control who you let in." And that's the same as our thoughts. We get thoughts, and thoughts coming to us, I don't know, thousands and thousands of them a day, right? And they come to us from our environment, or, sometimes it's inner thoughts, but sometimes it's like the chatter from outside of what's going on. But we don't have to open the door and let it in and let it become rooted. And those inner thoughts are the same way. Somewhere along the way, we open the door and we let them in. So now we have to kick them out.
Well, and they're the lie. They become a lie. So in the training though too, we learned that a lot of these voices were developed when we were kids, and we learned those behaviors as protective mechanisms to allow us to feel loved and safe and all that. And so mine was the perfectionist of how hiding and being making everything perfect because it made me feel good inside. And your avoider could be the same thing, avoiding conflict, avoiding things that are uncomfortable or whatever. And that's okay. We all have that. That's the best part is that we all have that. We all have saboteurs. We all have the inner critic. There's nothing good or bad about it. It's just having
Right.
that awareness about it and how long do we want to sit with it. And
Yes.
so it's simple. It's not, you don't have to spend hours writing and hours exploring that, but it's very simple. And a lot of that is just being aware of your body and being aware of if you catch yourself in that stress, and that stress is a pretty global word, in the overwhelm, the burnout, the anxiety, the frustration, blah, blah, blah. Pay attention
Mhm.
to that and then refocus your thoughts into some part of your body, like you're sitting on a chair right now. Just feel your body sitting on that chair. And that
Mhm.
brings you into the present moment.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if we are, in the radical awareness essence, is that first off, 90,000, or I think we have 90,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
And most of our thoughts are the same thoughts we had yesterday. When I heard that, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not changing. I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But it was just awareness. And I learned that I was through Joe Dispenza, I think was something I read in one of his books. So we're either regretting the past or worrying about the future. But if you just like come to the present moment,
Yeah.
that's all you have. You only have now.
Right.
You have this moment. And I was in somewhere and it's like, okay, it's now or it's
Yeah.
now, you know,
Yeah. It's always now.
it's always
Always.
now.
Yeah. And what you do now and how you think and what you decide to do, the actions you take is going to create your reality for the next moment and the next month and year and to come, So the where you are now is a result of what you've been thinking and believing up until now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everything that my whole life up to this point, all those choices, all those situations, all those catastrophes, those dramas, those good things have brought me to where I am today.
Exactly.
And that's a beautiful thing. And so, where is it going to take me on the same trajectory
Yeah. Yeah.
that I'm going?
Yeah. Yeah. Being present in the moment is so powerful. Um, I know that you, of course, I've been working with you for a while now, and you started doing your monthly workshops. I teach coaches how to create a monthly workshop that can become a system to bring in new clients, new leads, build your list, get new, make money. So what were some, and now you've been doing it for a while, and now you have a podcast. What were some of the those inner messages that at first kept you from going ahead and doing those workshops?
Definitely perfectionism. It was never good enough. I didn't do it
Mhm.
the right way. Didn't do it this way. Didn't do it that way. So, definitely perfectionism, and that whole held me back for months, I believe, for
Yeah.
months before I finally did something. And then, honestly, when we step out of that saboteur, that mental chatter, and we do step into this, it was pretty fun. And then it's like, am I going to say it right? Am I going to do it right? Am I going to forget something? Or I'm afraid to forget something. It ended up that once I got into it, we learn a lot about ourselves in doing these things, that it went with flow, it went with ease, it was fun with the people, there was good interaction. And my workshops end up being a lot of interaction with the people, and it's a lot of fun.
And
It's,
that's the way they should be.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But, just like your journey is like my journey and anybody else
Hmm.
that's starting off, you have to do it first to learn. You can't make it perfect before you start hosting
Right,
workshops.
right.
You
Exactly.
learn as you go, right?
Yeah.
You improve, you get better. And I loved watching you go from that perfectionist place of like reading your script and trying to make it all perfect to now just having a good time with your attendees because somewhere along the line, a switch happened, a shift happened where you realized, wait a minute, I know this stuff. I don't have to follow the script. It's in me. All I need to do is like show up with these people and interact with them. I know kind of the outline of what I'm teaching, but I can just be me. I can be real, and that's where the magic happens because
Right,
it's connection, it builds trust, it builds relationship. People get to see you as you are, and that's what's going to make them want to work with you.
right.
So, yeah. So talk about that. What kind of where'd that shift come from where that happened?
So, as I dove deeper and became a master in the mental fitness, it was that. It was like just do it.
Mhm.
I look in, let's see, um, like I said, the podcasts, that was procrastinating big time.
Yeah.
And then the workshops, I was dabbling with them here and there. And then I just started doing them. And I found the consistency as I became more consistent, I became better because then
Yes.
I can learn from them. I can learn from myself. And that's our greatest teacher is ourself.
Yeah.
That's our greatest teacher. And um, it's now, I look forward to the workshops. I look forward to meeting new people.
Mhm.
That's one of my strengths is bringing in new people and changing their lives,
Absolutely.
inspiring them to want to change their lives and to step into really their power. And my story, oh my God, Janelle, you were the culprit. You were the inspiration for me to build my story.
Yeah.
And I honor you for that gift. And 'cause again, there was fear there. It's like, no one wants to hear my story. No one wants to hear about, but so many people have said, Karen, talk about your journey, talk
Yeah.
about what I do in life. And I'm like, nobody wants to know that I'm an ultra runner and blah, blah, blah. But that makes me, that
Right.
makes me who I am.
Right.
And everybody has their own passions, their own skills, their own purpose to make them who they are. Janelle, are you going to run 100 miles with me? No.
No.
You don't have to, but it's having that, like we started this out before too. It gave me the mental um, resilience, perseverance, fortitude to say, now I'm a leader here and I'm a leader in my business.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
We who wear. wherever we are, let's see, how do I want to say this? There we are. So whatever situation I am, the main person in any situation is me.
Right.
And
Being
even
who you
in
are.
those relationships that we got ourselves into, it wasn't them.
Mm-mm.
It was always me. So no
Hmm.
matter how bad that is out there, it's me that's bringing that in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
That's good. That's really, really good. The shift was from, and you described it so well, from thinking about performance. How am I performing? What are people thinking of me? Um, I have to be perfect. I have to be in this performance mindset as opposed to, no, I'm coming to serve. I'm curious
mm,
about them. I'm excited to meet them. I'm excited to give them something that's going to change their lives. Then that nervousness changes to excitement. And your body's probably reacting the same way. You know, your heart's pounding, you have butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous. Well, same thing when you're excited, but you show up as you when you get excited. And that switch just happened in you along the way. And you needed those earlier ones to get your feet wet, to build your confidence, to go through it, to work out the kinks. And then somewhere along the way, you were like, well, the heck with this. I'm just going to be me. And I'm just going to show up and serve these people and get curious about them. And that's where it becomes fun. And so I think anybody listening to this, that if you have thought about doing a workshop or a virtual event of some kind or putting yourself out there speaking as a coach, if this resonates with you and you're having the same kinds of fears, just know that who you are and when you show up as yourself and your true self, that is what attracts your clients. The people looking for you, there's people looking for you in particular. They don't know it yet, but once they meet you, they're like, oh, that's who I've been looking for when you show up as yourself. And that vulnerability and that authenticity, being real and being you, that's what people love. They don't want you to be perfect. Perfection doesn't attract people because none of us are perfect.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, perfection will hold me back too.
Yeah.
And I did a race at the end of December, and um, it was a different venue. It was an okay venue on the sense of where it was at. It's a flat race. It goes in circles for a mile and a half, and you just kind of. But the thing is, I had a blast for 100 miles. I had a blast because I met brand new people,
Hmm.
and then the people are like attached to my energy, attached to my inner my inspiration, and then our relationship will grow and grow and grow,
Yeah.
after that. And so the same thing happens in business,
Mhm.
is that I've had people go, you know what, I'm going to refer this person to you twice now, 3 times now. I've had someone referred to me because of how I served them.
Right.
And then they see that for somebody else to do the same
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
So,
love that you pointed that out. It's about serving others to bring out their
yes.
best version of themselves.
Which is what we do as coaches.
Yeah.
So why aren't we showing up that way in our own events and on our own stages and don't get caught up in I'm performing now and I have to be perfect. No, they don't want you to be perfect. They want you to be you. Show up as yourself. Give, serve, and then invite. That's what an event is. You are giving and serving, and then you're inviting. You're inviting them to work with you. You're inviting them into whatever it is you have, whatever kind of program that you have. And then you've given them that taste of what that is like because you showed up as you. And then you'll start to see things start to change. I know I did workshops for years where I didn't have a whole lot of people stepping into my offer because I didn't align my content with my offer and I would just teach on some topic and then have a random, invitation and it wasn't lined up very well. It wasn't in sync with everything that we were talking about in the workshop. So that's a real key, knowing where you're taking people, but doing it in a genuine, authentic way in service creates that energy in the room where people can relax and they can really hear you. They don't feel like they're being sold to. They don't, their guard goes down. that guard of like, oh, this is going to be a webinar and they're going to try and sell me something. If you just show up as you in service and giving and curious about them and let them participate with you and let them share, then their guard goes down. They start to relax. They feel like they're in a safe place. They can trust you. And then when the invitation comes, then it's like, okay, I will be open to consider this because I really feel connected to this person. I feel like I can trust them. So there's a lot of secrets in there, but I love how you have taken your expertise, overcome those critics, identified them, and then used them to create success for yourself. You have a program now, and you go out there and you run and meet all kinds of potential clients. um, so share. I know you have a gift to give everyone. What is that all about? And we'll.
So we've been talking about mental fitness, and my tag is the mental fitness edge, but my gift is unleashing our inner champion.
Awesome.
We all have a champion inside of us that's been sitting there going, "Are you going to wake up?
Right.
Am
You
I
have an
able
inner
to do
champion.
this?"
Yes. Yes. They're
So
in
it's a
there.
nice little workbook that kind of describes some of the saboteurs and then how we shift that into our sage wisdom.
Nice. Well, do you have
Mhm.
a link you can drop in the chat? And then we'll
I do.
also put it in the show notes for those of you watching this recording. Make sure that you go and grab Karen's Unleash the Inner Champion gift here because it's powerful. It can change everything for you. Um, I often have coaches asking me, how do I actually do this thing? How do I actually, it's so scary, putting a workshop on the calendar and then actually inviting people and then opening the Zoom room and doing it. It's so scary. So if you start with this, what Karen's giving you, that can help prepare you to make that first step into your first workshop. And once you do your first workshop, you're going to have the confidence to try it again. And what I always say is if the first one doesn't go very well, that's okay because we need to
Do
keep doing it.
it
We need to be
again.
consistent. We need to be persistent. Keep running that race and do it again and again and again until you'll improve naturally and you'll get better at it and better at it. It's not a one and done thing. This is a process like anything else. And it's also a skill, just like running races. You build your physical body and you build your mental mind to do it and you do it and you keep training and training and training and then you are able to do more. Same thing. So start with Karen's gift, Unleash Your Inner Champion. And then I want to invite you to come to my workshop which is coming up very soon. It is called the Client Enrollment Workshop. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about is how do you create your own client enrollment workshop? It's a specific type of workshop. It's not just a workshop on random topics. It's a curated, finely tuned workshop that you start with and then you improve it over time, but it becomes an asset for your business because it's your core message and it leads people to your core offer. And then it becomes something you can just keep doing and doing and doing on a regular, consistent way. Well, like Karen said, the consistency is what really builds the audience and what really gets your name out there. And you'll build confidence. You'll get more and more confident. So at my workshop, we're going to cover my client's framework of how to create this workshop. And we're going to especially dive into the most important piece of that, which I will reveal at the workshop. But it is free. I'm going to put the link in here, and it will also be in the notes underneath this video. So make sure that you sign up for that, and we will get you guys going. You will get yourself mentally fit and starting your own workshops so that you can um, get visible, you can be seen, you can connect with those people that want to work with you, and you can then invite them into your program and start to see your business grow and build. So, thank you so much, Karen, for coming and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you for
Um,
having me. I
yeah, it's
appreciate it.
been a blast. Always fun talking with
Always
you.
fun.
And if there are any questions, I know we have one person in the Zoom room with us today. Do you have any questions for Karen or me as you were?
I I have to be so honest. I do not have any questions, but I don't believe in any coincidences in life at all. this was exactly what I needed because I actually did put together a workshop. I,
Yay.
yes, I designed and it can be an 8 week workshop, but I am looking to host the event in person. And everything that Karen spoke of, everything that both of you spoke of, I'm battling my thoughts. Like as soon as I started to hear what the topic was about, my heart started pounding, and I'm taking deep breaths over here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, just calming myself, staying in the moment, listening to everything. So I thank you both so much for this. I didn't know what to expect, of course, but
Wow.
it was wonderful.
Good. We're so glad that this was perfect timing for you. So fantastic. Make
It,
sure you
it,
grab Karen's gift and come to my workshop. And
I will. Like
yeah.
it really was because I'm in the process of promoting my workshop, and that's where I feel the most mental chatter.
Hmm.
And like last night I was finishing up, just not even really finishing up, being a perfectionist. I was being a perfectionist. And after a while, I said, let me close this presentation down because there's nothing wrong with it. Like you're looking for something to be wrong so that you can continue to work on it. Just get a book, go read,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
just get in the moment. So like
Yeah.
it was really so right on time.
Good. That's excellent. One thing too that I meant to say earlier, but this is true. Like we think we work so hard to get it perfect, get our slides perfect and our presentation perfect and our script and our stories and all the things. And then we get into the workshop and something inevitably goes wrong, or we make a mistake, or we skip over something, or we say something wrong, like then we feel like, oh my gosh, it wasn't perfect. I failed and I look dumb or whatever. But the reality is that you're going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes, and I've been doing this for years. And I know this. I know that it's not going to be perfect, and I just keep going. And in my 3 day event, which Karen is one of my coaches, so often something will go wrong. Technology won't work right, or maybe I forget something, or I don't. I can't find my PowerPoint or whatever it might be. And I just usually say to my audience, oh, well, things happen. Give me a second. Let me go get it. And people love that. They love it when you're real and when you make a mistake or something there's a hiccup there and you just tell them. You don't have to be this, polished thing. People don't like that anyway. And I found that to be actually one of the superpowers in being an event host is just being real and relax. Just relax. It's going to be okay. And like I said, the more that you do it, the better you get at it, and go back and look at it after it's over with and watch the recording and see, how you could improve or what worked well, what maybe didn't. Um, we look at all of that afterwards. What were your registrations like and your show up rate? So how can you improve your promotion? All of those things are things to look at afterwards and just evaluate and improve and then do it again. And then the same thing again. That's the S in my client's framework, is to go back systemizing it by evaluating, analyzing, seeing what could be made better. And just know when you go into it, it's okay if it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. I'm just going to be me and I'm going to show up and serve. And that will be exactly what your attendees want. And the other thing, too, is sometimes um, you don't have very many people in the room and that discourages people. And maybe you had, I don't know, 25 registered or 30 or 50, and it comes time for the event and maybe, 5 people are in the room. I had a 3 day event one time, 3 days, 3 full days, and I had 5 people show up. And by the third day, or maybe it was a 1 day, I think it was a 1 day event. By the end of the day, I had one person left. And I think it was you, Karen. I don't know if you remember, it was years ago. And you actually signed up for the program at the time. And I have helped other people run events where there's only a few people in the room, but they still got one client out of it and made money and got a new client. And that's okay. You don't need a huge crowd. And so then what do you want to do? Well, you want to work on your promotion to get that up. And it takes time to do that. There's a lot behind that promotion. There's a lot behind the messaging to get it out there and different avenues to get it out there. But you just start and you try it and then you go back and you say, okay, this time I do this every time. What am I going to add in this time as far as promotion to get more people there? What do I need to tweak in my content? That piece right there didn't seem to land very well. What can I do so it's just the constant, consistent improving and making it better and better and better. And then you'll start to see things improve as far as how many people register, how many people show up, how many people sign up. And once you get it to there where everything's working, people are coming, they are converting, you're getting a good conversion, your offer is converting, then you're like, okay, now I know I have it. Now I just need to focus on getting more people registered or if you want, I mean, the more people registering, the more people will show up and the more people you have convert, obviously. So again, I'm glad you came today and that this was perfect timing for you. And I'm excited for you to work on your workshop and see what you can do with it over time. So thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I came too. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, everybody. So those of you watching again, go ahead and click on the links below to get Karen's gift and come to my workshop. And we will see you again next Monday for another Speakeasy Cafe. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you, Janelle. Nice to meet you, Azura.
We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.